customer success has now become everybody's job. I was going to say problem. It's not. It's everyone's job.
Yeah.
And by that I mean it's no longer a department that sits on its own trying to do the best it can with with whatever resources it has, trying to serve the customer and save churn and be as proactive as possible, but kind of doing it on its own. Now the conversations that I've been having over the last 6 to 12 months have been increasingly with CEOs of companies rather than VPs of customer success, which is a good thing, right? Because customer success is a company mission, and particularly with everything we've just been talking around digital CS. We talked about data. We talked about serving content to customers. We talked about the in-app experience, right? So there you're touching engineering, you're touching marketing, you're touching product. You can't do digital CS without other teams' help. And it can't just be, hey, can you do me one favor a quarter? It needs to be a strategy. It needs to be a company level strategy. And what I'm hearing more about is companies tying together metrics, or binding these teams together with metrics that they're all trying to contribute towards. So rather than marketing just being focused more on acquisition, or product being focused on certain pieces around usability or speed to market, whatever it might be, they're actually picking metrics that every team has a piece of that. And I'm not just talking about, I think obviously NRR, churn, NPS, whatever, these sort of larger lagging metrics are ultimately the most important, but it's very hard tactically to make decisions on that from week to week, quarter to quarter. Like, do I do this or do I do that? Why should I help you with? Why should I drop working on this feature to help with this thing? NRR, yes, I understand it's important, but I can't really draw the line that connects this specific decision with NRR. It's too many layers removed. So what some of what I'm seeing, which I really love, is more customer focused metrics that the teams are being measured against. I'll give you an example of how that works. If you go and speak to, and I've had many of these conversations, you'll speak to kind of the product team and the marketing team. You speak to different teams and ask them, how well are they serving their customers? Like, are the features helping the customers have impact? You'll get generally a very positive kind of outlook, because everyone feels like they're doing the right things. But not many companies have really measured that from the customer perspective. It's a really interesting, very, very simple exercise that you can go through, where you can get all your teams together, or key stakeholders from different teams, and do this exercise we call it the help me exercise. So articulate in the form of a statement that starts with help me all the different jobs that you help customers with. Like, help me produce a report to show the efficiency of this project. Help me to reduce the time I spend setting up a campaign every week. Like, whatever is right for your product.
Yeah.
And just kind of brainstorming, and very quickly you come up with a lot of these sort of help me statements. Then you can take those statements and obviously do a little bit of sort of curating and culling to get sort of a core set. And then you can ask you can actually ask in the company, you can survey employees or leadership and ask, how well do you think we are helping customers with each of these things? And ask them to rate it on a scale of like 1 to 5, 1 to 7. And that gives you kind of like the internal perspective, right? The company perspective. But then take those same questions and ask your customers those, like survey them. Ask them, how well do you think this product is helping you do this thing? And there's another layer on top of this, which is how relevant that particular help me statement is to each user, because every user needs help with different things, right? Which is a nuance that's important to remember. But see how the customers rate you. And I think it can, I think starting to then focus teams on metrics like that, like how do our customers score us against these key jobs of work that we have identified that we as a company are trying to help customers with? How well are we doing? Yeah. All right, then a quarter from now, we're going to send out that same survey to another segment of our customer base. And if this new feature that we're releasing that we think is great is really great, those numbers should improve or this particular help me statement should get better next quarter. And that's a combination of building the right things. It's a combination of building it well from a product perspective. It's about how you talk about it in marketing. It's about customer success teams and how they make customers aware and help them adopt it, etc. So if you all come together, you can really move metrics like that. And I think that's an interesting trend. It's early days, but I think it's a really positive step in the right direction at an organizational level.